Forget the poster cars. Forget the R34s. Forget the RX-7s everyone already knows. The real legends are the cars nobody chased because nobody understood them. Japan built machines so rare they never crossed 2,000 units. So capable they humiliated serious performance cars, and so invisible you could park one at a meet, walk away, and no one would look twice. These aren't flashy heroes. Their financial mistakes turned into cult legends. 9 Japanese sleepers so rare and misunderstood they rewrote what performance was supposed to look like. And the car at number 1 didn't just embarrass supercars, it embarrassed the brands that built them. Number 9. Infiniti M45, 2003 to 2004. This car failed for one simple reason. It looked like it had nothing to prove. Only 2 model years, under 9,000 units total, and almost nobody bought one. The Infiniti M45 arrived with a 4.5-liter V8, pushing 340 horsepower to the rear wheels, doing 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds, wrapped in a body that screamed corporate parking lot. No flared arches, no aggressive aero, no drama, just a Japanese luxury sedan hiding real muscle under a forgettable suit. That V8 was smooth, brutally reliable, and torque-heavy. The chassis was balanced, the ride was composed, and the handling embarrassed German sedans costing far more. Buyers ignored it. Infiniti killed it, and that's exactly why it became a sleeper. Today, you can still find clean examples for used Civic money, a rare Japanese V8 sedan that nobody wants, until you press the throttle. Number 8. Mitsubishi Galant VR4 8th Gen. This is the car Mitsubishi never wanted you to notice, because if you did, you'd start asking uncomfortable questions, like why a mid-size sedan from the late 90s had twin turbos, all-wheel drive, active yaw control, 4-wheel steering, and performance numbers that embarrassed muscle cars of the era. The Galant VR4 packed a 2.5-liter twin-turbo V6, making 276 horsepower, routed through Evo-derived AWD hardware. In straight lines, it walked Mustang GTS. In corners, it embarrassed them. And visually, it looked like a rental car. No hood scoops, no aggressive stance, nothing to warn you what was coming. That was the point. This wasn't a sports car pretending to be practical. This was rally technology hiding behind a briefcase. Number 7. Toyota Century 12 GZG50. Japan's only production, V12 didn't go into a supercar. It went into a boxy luxury sedan built for people who never drive themselves. The Toyota Century 512 was hand-assembled for over 2 decades, averaging fewer than 500 cars per year. Under the hood sat a 5.0-liter V12 designed not for speed, but for silence. Effortless torque, zero drama, no vibration, double-glazed windows, air suspension, hand-finished interiors. And here's the sleeper part. To everyone else, it looks like a boring old Japanese sedan. Most people assume it's just another Crown. They have no idea they're looking at the only Japanese 512 ever built. No idea it cost more than a Lexus LS. No idea it was designed for emperors. It's not loud. It's not fast. It's powerful in a way you don't measure with numbers. Number 6. Nissan Stagea 260 RS. This car is the reason sleeper became a real category. From the outside, it's just a station wagon, a family hauler, a grocery getter, until you realize it shares its DNA with a Skyline GTR. Nissan's tuning arm took the Stagea and dropped in the RB26. Same twin turbos, same AWD system, same limited slip differentials, same 4-wheel steering. This wasn't a wagon inspired by a GTR. It was a GTR with a cargo area. Fewer than 2,000 were built, right-hand drive only, Japan only, and today they cost half what an R33 GTR costs, while offering the same mechanical insanity. The Stagea proved something terrifying. You don't need to look fast to be devastating. Number 5. Mazda RX-7 Spirit R FD3S. This wasn't a special edition, it was a goodbye. When Mazda decided to end the RX-7, they didn't cheap out. They distilled everything they'd learned about the FD into one final version. The Spirit R, released in 2002, limited production, 3 variants, and 0 compromises. Same twin-turbo 13B rotary on paper, but by this point, Mazda had refined it to the edge of what a rotary could be. Sharper throttle response, better cooling, better durability by rotary standards. But the Spirit R wasn't about numbers, it was about intent. Recaro seats, Brembo brakes, exclusive wheels, and trim, unique interior details that existed only for for this car. And here's the sleeper angle most people miss. From a distance, it looks like a normal FDRX7. Same silhouette, same proportions. Only people who know realize they're looking at the final, most complete version Mazda ever built. No successor replaced it. No modern equivalent followed. The Spirit R exists because Mazda knew the era was ending, and they wanted to close the book properly. Number 4. Acura Integra Type R, 1997 US, DM. 320 cars. Not 3,000. Not an approximation. Exactly 320 units sold in the United States. At the time, nobody cared. Front-wheel drive, no turbo, modest horsepower numbers. Dealers struggled to sell them, but Honda wasn't chasing drag races. They were chasing perfection. Weight reduction everywhere, close ratio gearbox, helical limited slip differential, an engine that screamed past 8,000 RPM like it was personally offended by red lines. The Integra Type R didn't overpower roads. It outthought them. And then, reality caught up. Collectors realized this was peak Honda, built before emissions, cost-cutting, and market pressure diluted everything. Today, clean examples sell for 6 figures. A car nobody wanted is now one of the most valuable Hondas ever sold in America. It wasn't fast on paper. It was lethal in the hands of someone who knew what they were doing. Number 3. Nissan Skyline GT-R Z-Tune R34. This car wasn't built during the R34's production run. That's what makes it dangerous. Years after the R34 GT-R was discontinued, NISMO went back and asked a forbidden question. What if we built the ultimate Skyline with no limits? They bought low-mileage V-spec cars back from owners, stripped them to bare shells, reinforced the chassis, and rebuilt them from the ground up. The RB26 became an RB28, fully blueprinted, bigger turbos, race-grade cooling, around 500 horsepower, and built to survive it. Only 19 cars were completed. Every panel mattered. Every component was optimized. Every car took months, and every single one sold before it was finished. Today, Z-Tunes trade hands for 7 figures. Some are approaching $2 million. This wasn't tuning. This was resurrection. Nissan built the perfect Skyline after killing the Skyline and accidentally created one of the most untouchable Japanese cars ever made. Number 2. Nissan GT-R 50 by Idle Design. This car exists because Nissan stopped caring about opinions. 50 units, over $1 million each, and every single one sold before the first car was built. The GT-R 50 wasn't meant to be rational. It was Nissan and Idle Design celebrating 50 years of GT-R history by doing something completely unnecessary. They started with a standard R35 GT-R. Then they redesigned everything. Lower roofline, wider body, aggressive aero that looks like it escaped a concept show. Gold accents everywhere. Under the hood, NISMO took the 3.8-liter twin-turbo V6 and pushed it to 720 horsepower. Not a marketing number. A real, usable figure. Upgraded turbos. Reinforced internals. Race-spec cooling and fueling. This wasn't a sculpture. It was a weapon. Each buyer customized their car. Paint, interior, details. Every GT-R 50 became effectively one of one. Some people called it ugly. Some called it excessive. None of that mattered. When only 50 exist, opinions become irrelevant. Scarcity creates its own respect. The GT-R 50 proved modern Japan could still build something so extreme that logic stopped applying. Number 1. Lexus LFA Nürburgring Edition. 500 LFAs were built. Only 50 became Nürburgring editions, and that difference is everything. The standard LFA was already a financial disaster, a carbon fiber supercar that took 10 years to develop and lost money on every sale. But Lexus wasn't done. The Nürburgring edition was built as the final statement. More power, less weight, aggressive aero, fixed rear wing, shorter gear ratios, stiffer suspension. This wasn't a Grand Tourer anymore. It was a track-focused machine that happened to be street legal. The V10 revved to 9,000 RPM. An engine so perfectly balanced, Lexus had to use a digital tachometer because analog needles couldn't keep up. And then it happened. A Nürburgring lap time of 7 minutes 14 seconds. Faster than the Ferrari Enzo. Faster than the Carrera GT. Built by Toyota's luxury division. Here's why it's the ultimate sleeper. Most people can't tell it apart from a standard LFA. Same shape, same presence. Only those who know recognize the aero, the stance, the details. They know they're looking at one of 50. One of the rarest Japanese performance cars ever made. A car built to prove a point and then never repeated.